Alright, folks. Imagine digging through your couch cushions, finding a random penny, and boom! Turns out it's worth $1.9 million. Yep, that's right. A single 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln cent could be your golden ticket. And today, we're gonna break down exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot one, and how you can turn pocket change into serious cash. So stick around, you won't want to miss this. Now, let's get to the good stuff. In 1968, the U.S. Mint produced pennies in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, coins from Denver and San Francisco have a little D or S mint mark below the date. But what happens when a Philadelphia coin accidentally loses its mint mark? Well, it becomes one of the rarest errors in coin history, and collectors are obsessed with it. Now, here's where things get crazy. Recently, one of these rare 1968 no-mint mark pennies was sold for a jaw-dropping $1.9 million at auction. That's not just grocery money, people. That's life-changing, quit your job, buy an island money. So, how do you know if you have one of these golden, or should I say, copper tickets? Here's what to look for. It should be totally blank under the year 1968. No D, no S. Nothing. Sharp details. These rare errors tend to have clean, crisp strikes because they weren't mass-produced. High grade. If you've got one in pristine condition, cha-ching, you're in the money. Now, quick personal story. I once thought I hit the jackpot when I found an old penny in my dad's coin jar. I was already planning my dream vacation, maybe a new car. Took it to a dealer, and it was worth a whopping 2 cents. Turns out, not all old pennies are gold mines, folks. But hey, we live and we learn. But that doesn't mean you won't get lucky. So check your pockets, your piggy banks, and yes, even that little pile of change in your car's cup holder. You never know. Alright, coin hunters. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any more tips on hidden treasure in your spare change. Got a cool coin story? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear if you've ever found a rare penny. And hey, keep those eyes peeled. You might just be holding a fortune. We're diving into why this little copper beauty is worth a fortune and how you can check if you have one. Plus, I'll share a hilarious personal story about my own coin hunting adventure. Alright, let's talk about why this penny is the LeBron James of coins. The 1952 S penny was minted in San Francisco, hence the little S mint mark under the date. Now, normally, these pennies aren't exactly rare. But the one that hit the $1.8 million jackpot? It had a super unique minting error. Picture this, the US Mint workers are cranking out pennies like it's Black Friday at a department store. But once in a while, mistakes happen, like a double die, an off-center strike, or a repunched mint mark. And in the case of this legendary 1952 S penny, the error was so rare and precise that collectors lost their minds over it. So how do you check if you have one? Easy. Grab a magnifying glass, turn on your brightest lamp, and look at the S mint mark. If you see signs of a repunched mint mark, meaning it looks like it was stamped twice, you might be in luck. And if you find one, don't go spending it on a gumball. Take it straight to a professional coin grader ASAP. Okay, real talk. A few years ago, I got obsessed with hunting rare coins. One night, I'm sitting at my kitchen table, surrounded by pennies, squinting like an old-timey detective. My wife walks in and is like, "Are you seriously spending our date night staring at pennies?" Fast forward 2 hours, and I thought I found a rare penny. My heart was racing. I was already planning my millionaire lifestyle, beach house, sports car, lifetime supply of tacos. Then, turns out, I just had really bad eyesight. It was a normal penny. Womp womp. Moral of the story, coin hunting is fun, but don't quit your day job just yet. Unless, of course, you actually do find the $1.8 million one, then, well, send me a thank you note. Alright, folks, now it's your turn. Check your pennies, and who knows, you might be sitting on a gold mine or, well, a copper mine. If you love learning about valuable coins and want more tips on hidden treasures in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're talking about the legendary 1964 D Lincoln cent and why it's making coin collectors go absolutely nuts. So, what's the deal with the 1964 D Lincoln cent? First, let's break it down. The D stands for Denver Mint, which is where this particular penny was struck. Now, normally these pennies are worth, well, a cent. But once in a while, a rare error or variety can turn a humble coin into a jackpot. That's exactly what happened here. Imagine finding one of these in your couch cushions. Boom! You're an instant millionaire. But before you go digging through your car seats, let's talk about what makes this coin special. The 1964 D penny we're talking about isn't just any penny. It has a rare die variety, and some experts believe there may be a special prototype or unique minting error that makes it extremely valuable. Now, condition is everything. A worn-out, beat-up version might only get you a couple of bucks. But a pristine, high-grade, red-tone 1964 D penny? That's the golden ticket. And when one of these rare beauties hit the auction block, collectors went wild, driving the price up to, drumroll, please, $1.5 million. I know what you're thinking. I gotta check my piggy bank ASAP. And you should. But before you start sifting through every penny you've ever touched, let's talk strategy. First, check for that D-mint mark. Then, look for sharp details, like a clear strike, no major damage, and that brilliant red color. And if you think you've got a winner, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Because trust me, nobody's taking your word for it when you say you have $1 million penny. True story, I once spent an entire weekend checking pennies after hearing about a rare coin find. Spoiler alert, I ended up with exactly 0 rare pennies and an unhealthy obsession with coin collecting. But hey, you never know when luck will strike. Alright, so here's your homework. Go check your change jar, your junk drawer, even your grandma's old coin stash. And if you find a 1964 D penny that looks promising, get it checked. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a small fortune. 1979 D Lincoln penny and why one of these little guys is worth a fortune. First things first, what's the deal with the 1979 D penny? Now, this is your regular Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, with that tiny D mint mark under the date. Normally, these pennies are worth, well, a penny. Maybe a few cents in really nice condition. But then, there's the unicorn, the holy grail, the Willy Wonka golden ticket of pennies. The one that's reportedly worth about $1.9 million. But why? Here's where things get spicy. This rare penny is a mint error. And not just any mint error, but a dramatic one. See, sometimes the US Mint has an oops moment, kinda like when you text your boss instead of your best friend with "I hate this job." Ouch. Well, in this case, the oops moment involved a major die error or an off-metal strike, making this particular penny ultra rare. So, how do you know if you have this jackpot in your pocket? Well, take a close look. Some key things collectors hunt for are double die errors, off-center strikes, or even transitional metal compositions. That's right, sometimes, pennies get struck on the wrong metal, and boom! Instant fortune. A few years ago, I found an old jar of coins in my grandma's attic. I thought, hey, maybe I'll find something cool. And guess what? I did. I found a 1969 S double die penny, not quite 1.9 million, but still worth a couple of grand. So yeah, it pays to check your change. Check the mint mark and date. Look closely, and use a magnifying glass. Inspect for errors. Double dies, off-metal strikes, weird anomalies. These are gold mines, get it graded. Don't just run to eBay and sell it for $10. Get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. That's how you know it's the real deal. So, the next time you find a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it, pick it up. Who knows? It might just be your ticket to $1 million payday. And hey, even if it's just a regular penny, well, at least you're a cent richer than you were before. If you love learning about hidden treasures in your pocket, hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and drop a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? I want to hear your stories. 1986 Lincoln penny with NO mint mark recently shook up the coin collecting world, selling for an unbelievable price. So, before you start using pennies to prop up that wobbly table leg, stick around. This might just be your lucky day. Okay, so let's break this down. What's the deal with the 1986 NO mint mark Lincoln cent? How did this humble little penny turn into a millionaire's dream? And most importantly, do you have one hiding in your couch cushions right now? First things first, most Lincoln pennies from 1986 were made at the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints. Normally, Philadelphia doesn't put a mint mark on their pennies, but here's where it gets interesting. The rare, valuable one? It was supposed to have a mint mark, but due to a crazy minting error, it doesn't. Boom. Just like that, we've got a numismatic superstar. Now, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill weird penny situation. This is like finding out your grandma's dusty attic vase is actually a lost treasure from an ancient dynasty. The reason this penny is so valuable is because it's an error coin, and collectors go absolutely bananas over rare errors. So, where do you look? Check your coin jars, your old piggy bank, your grandpa's I'll get to it later stash. People have found rare pennies in the most unexpected places. Fun fact, one time, I found a wheat penny in my car cup holder. Thought I struck gold, turns out, it was worth about $2. But hey, $2 is $2. Alright, if you think you have one, here's what to check for: no signs of where that could have removed a mint mark. If you suspect you've got the real deal, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify it. You don't want to be that person who sells $1 million penny at a yard sale for 5 cents. Trust me. Now let's talk money. The last known 1986 no mint mark penny that sold at auction? A jaw-dropping $1.8 million. That's like buying 180 million actual pennies. Mind-blowing, right? Of course, not every 1986 no mint mark penny will fetch that kind of cash, but even lower grade versions can go for thousands. Still better than, a penny jar. So, the next time you get a penny as change, don't just toss it in a drawer. It could be your ticket to a life-changing fortune. And if you're curious about more coins that could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to make you rich, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with a friend who could use a little extra luck. 2007 Lincoln penny, the 1 cent that could change your life. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to cash in. Let's get into it. Now, before you go ransacking your piggy bank, let's break this down. The 2007 Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. Normally, these pennies are, well, just pennies. But here's the kicker: there's a special error variety that makes this coin a total jackpot. This bad boy has a crazy double die averse error. That means during the minting process, the design was struck twice, causing a noticeable doubling effect, especially in Lincoln's eyes, the date, and the lettering. Some say Honest Abe looks a little cross-eyed, but hey, I'd be too if I knew I was suddenly worth $1 million. Now, how do you know if your 2007 D penny is the one? Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and look for doubling on "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." If you see that, my friend, you just hit the coin collector's jackpot. And guess what? One of these rare beauties was recently auctioned for $1.6 million. Imagine that, 1 cent turning into a dream house, a sports car, or a lifetime supply of tacos. Priorities, right? Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple years ago, I was at a gas station and got a handful of pennies as change. One of them looked a little off, but instead of checking it, I did what any normal person would do. I tossed it into my car's cup holder and forgot about it. Fast forward a few months, I finally decided to check, and guess what? It was just a regular oil penny. But imagine if it had been a rare one. Moral of the story: always check your change. So, what's the takeaway? Don't sleep on your spare change. That penny in your pocket right now could be your golden ticket. Take a second to check your coins, and if you do find a 2007 D with a double die error, get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If you love learning about rare coins and how to turn pocket change into big bucks, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another coin collecting tip. Also, drop a comment below: what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's chat about it. 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny is making waves in the collector's market, and you might just have one in your pocket right now. Now, before you go digging through your car's cup holder like a mad scientist, let's break down why this little copper beauty is worth so much. Most pennies have a mint mark: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, but some rare ones slip through without a mark. That's exactly what happened in 2016. A few Lincoln cents were minted without that tiny letter, and collectors have gone absolutely bonkers trying to get their hands on one. Back in the day, people didn't think much of these pennies. I mean, come on, it's just a penny, right? Wrong. In recent years, the value has skyrocketed, with one selling for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million at auction. Can you imagine the look on the previous owner's face? Probably something like mimics a shocked face. I'll tell you a quick story. So I'm at the grocery store, right? And I get some change back. I glance at the penny and think, looks kinda weird. But instead of checking, I just toss it in my coin jar. Fast forward to last week, and I learn about this rare penny. I dumped that jar out so fast, you'd think I was on a treasure hunt. Turns out, nope, just a bunch of regular pennies and a gum wrapper. But you never know, you might have the real deal. Okay, so how do you check if you have this golden, copper, ticket to wealth? Here's what you do: grab a magnifying glass, look at the front, just below the date. If there's no mint mark, congrats. You might be onto something. Get it authenticated. Coin dealers and grading services can confirm if you've struck it rich. Now let's talk cash. The $1.5 million penny is an extreme case, but even if yours isn't the jackpot penny, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's a whole lot better than, 1 cent. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your piggy banks, your junk drawers, your grandma's old purse. Who knows, you might be sitting on a fortune. And hey, if you find one, maybe send me a thank you penny, just saying. 2019 Lincoln penny hiding in your couch cushions worth a whopping $1.7 million. Yep, you heard that right. A single, little, copper-colored coin, worth more than a mansion. So if you've ever thought about throwing your pennies in a jar and forgetting about them, think again. Today, we're diving into the 2019 no mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth so much, how to spot one, and why you should start checking your spare change immediately. And hey, if you stick around, I'll tell you about the time I almost spent a valuable coin on a gas station burrito. Let's go! So, you're probably wondering, what makes this tiny coin so ridiculously valuable? Great question! Here's the deal. Some of these 2019 pennies were struck without a mint mark due to a rare error at the Philadelphia Mint. And as you might know, rare errors in the coin world equals $. Think of it like a typo on a vintage Pokemon card or an action figure missing an arm. Collectors go nuts for mistakes. And in this case, one of these little guys sold for $1.7 million at auction. Imagine paying off your student loans with a single penny. I mean, that's every millennial's dream, right? Alright, so how do you know if you have one of these golden tickets disguised as a penny? Simple. Grab any 2019 Lincoln penny and check the front. Normally, you'd see a tiny letter near the date, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or nothing at all, meaning it was made in Philly. But here's the kicker: some of the no mint mark pennies were accidentally made with a special, super crisp dye, giving them an unusually sharp and shiny look. Basically, if your 2019 penny looks extra fancy, like it just got back from a spa day, you might want to get it checked by a professional coin grader. And please don't clean it with soap and water. That's like giving a vintage comic book a bath, instant regret. Let's say you hit the jackpot and find one of these bad boys. What's next? First, do not spend it. No buying snacks, no using it for laundry, and definitely don't throw it in a wishing well. Trust me, that's a wish you'll regret. Instead, get it authenticated. Send it to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. If it's the real deal, you could be sitting on a life-changing fortune. Speaking of mistakes, let me tell you about my own close call. A few years back, I was at a gas station, starving, about to buy the most questionable-looking burrito you've ever seen. I reached into my pocket and almost handed over an odd-looking 1992 penny. Something told me to hold off, so I did a quick Google search, and turns out that penny was worth over $5,000. Moral of the story? Always check your change. And maybe don't eat gas station burritos. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the scoop on the 2019 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with $1 million payday. So before you dump your change at Coinstar, take a second and check those pennies. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you love learning about hidden gems in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more coin hunting tips, crazy auction stories, and money-making strategies coming your way. 2021D Lincoln Shield penny and uncover its true value. eBay. First things first, let's talk about the 2021D Lincoln Shield penny. Minted in Denver, this little copper-plated zinc coin is the latest in the long-running series honoring our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. But is it the golden ticket to millionaire status? According to USA Coin Book, a standard 2021D penny in uncirculated condition is valued at about 36 cents. Not exactly retirement money, but still more than its face value. CoinValueChecker.com. Now, before you toss that penny aside, there's a twist. High-grade specimens can fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. For instance, a 2021 penny graded MS68RD by PCGS sold for $3,300 in December 2022. That's a significant jump from 1 cent. So, what's the secret sauce? It all boils down to the coin's condition. The Sheldon scale, ranging from 1 to 70, assesses a coin's quality. The closer to 70, the higher the value. Achieving an MS68 grade means your penny is nearly flawless, a true gem for collectors. I remember the first time I found a pristine penny. I was at a flea market, sifting through a jar of loose change. Amidst the nickels and dimes, there it was, a 1995 Lincoln cent, gleaming like it had just left the mint. My heart raced as I imagined its potential value. Turns out, it was worth about $5. Not life-changing, but it sparked my passion for coin collecting. Now, if you're aiming for the big leagues, certain pennies have fetched astronomical prices. Take the 1943 Lincoln bronze wheat penny, for example. One of these rare beauties sold for a whopping $1.7 million. These pennies were mistakenly struck in bronze instead of the wartime steel, making them incredibly valuable. Yahoo Finance hosts. So, while your 2021 penny might not buy you a mansion, it's a reminder that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. Keep an eye out for those high-grade coins and rare errors. They're the real jackpot.